So the project started as one of these large peel-off stickers from Gigi. Now they do 8 designs in this large size, and they also do this sheet which has got 4 designs on it, and they're obviously smaller, but will make a nice smaller Suncatcher or Lightcatcher. We're going to use the large one. On many of them you get these extra little bits. I'm not going to use those in this particular project. So while I open this up, why don't we just have a look at the designs which are available, or the ones which I've found available so far. So they do 8 of these large, what they call Mandala sticks, and there are also, excuse me, you can hear the noise of me opening in the background. They also do these 4 smaller designs. So there is the large design. Now obviously the first thing I need to do is move that design onto my work surface. Now I'm going to be working on this, a bit difficult to see, but this is my thick film for sale on the site. I've taken the covering off one side, I've cleaned it. There is still a covering on the back, it's a clear covering, you can't see it, and I'm going to leave that on for now. Obviously I've marked which side has the covering because I want to ensure the peel off goes on the correct side. Now there is a couple of ways of doing this, and it's going to be tricky whichever way you do it. One is to try and take it off upside down and then place your work on top of it, and it'll have stuck to it. That would have been the wrong way around. Place your work on top of it and it would have stuck to it. The way I'm going to do it is, first thing I'm going to do is cut off these bits I don't want. Just find my scissors. And I'm going to cut these bits off because they're just going to get in the way. And I'll save them. I'm not going to waste them. Either I'll use them later, or a card making friend will, or something. Nice corner pieces. Just got that out of the way, just get some of the extra off which I don't want. Push that to the side. The other thing I want to do is work out what is going to be my top, because I'm going to cut out a little bit extra on my film when I come to cutting it out, and make that into the hanger. So again, making sure I'm on the correct side of this. Now I've got something called transfer film. It's obviously not big enough for the whole piece, so I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to have that at the top. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to take my transfer film. Oh, a bit too low there. Let's just take that off again. I've got some extra and we're getting in an awful mess. Take that extra off. And try that again. The idea of this transfer film is the peel-offs will go on and off it fairly easily. Obviously I'd rather not stick it to my paper. Let me move that paper out of the way while I'm doing this. So it's stuck to there, and now I'm going to start taking it off, and it should lift the peel off. Might not get it first time every time, and it's going to leave behind some, perhaps not all, of the bits we don't want. You see there, it's not leaving them all, but hopefully it'll leave at least some of the bits we don't want. I need to do this carefully I don't want to break any of the bits we do want. Now I've got that far. I'm going to fold back that and I'm getting this in the roughly the correct place. Give myself some space at the top. And starting at the top, I'm going to push that down. Now I can concentrate on taking the backing sheet away, and once I take it away, I shall continue to push it down. So be very, very careful because I do not want to tear any of the bits which we want. I'm trying to get it down as flat as possible. Now let's take off this again very carefully. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I shall now take this off. One little bump there. Now, hopefully you can see that. This is going to be my top. Next thing to do is go through it and take off some of the pieces, or all the pieces which are left behind, which I don't want. So I'm going to start over here, hopefully, using my craft knife and just taking them off. Done this one quite well. Last one I did, I had loads left on. I think that's it. I will keep my craft knife handy because there's bound to be some more yet which I've missed. Okay, scrap bit of paper. I'm just making sure that is really firmly stuck down all the way around. We're going to be using paint on this, and the last thing we want is bits of paint to be seeping under anything which isn't stuck properly. There we go. That should all be stuck down. See a couple more bits there. Get a rolling pin on this if you want, as long as you use a bit of paper, or this is an old envelope, over the top to make sure you're not damaging the work. I'm concerned about one piece there. There we go, that's got it. And I think that is okay. Worth taking your time and checking, because you don't want these errors to show up later. I am going to put that one to the side just for now, because as normal, here's one I did earlier, and the reason I want to show you with this one is the next thing I did was put this under the scanner. I've got a scanner. If you haven't, you can just draw a rough sketch of it. But I put it under the scanner, then I worked out my colour scheme. I did it on the computer. You could do it with pencils or something. But I just worked out my colour scheme. You'll notice these designs are quite complicated, and I did think without a colour scheme I may well end up painting the wrong bit, the wrong colour basically. So I'm hoping this colour scheme here will help me to keep on track and paint the right things in the right colour. So that's my colour scheme, that's the design I'm going to paint. And again with this one, I can still see there's a couple of bits which need to be stuck down. So I'll do that, I'll get my paints ready and then we'll come back. Well, the first thing you'll notice is I'm working on my new light box. Makes working that much easier. You can see any bits you have missed. I'm going to keep my design close by so I can keep on referring to it. And I'm going to do one colour at a time, starting with the darker colours and working my way towards the light ones. That's because later on dropping a lighter colour into a darker one, if I make a mistake, won't be as obvious as if I start with the light ones and then I drop a dark colour into it. That'll be very obvious. So I'm starting with some of the darker colours. I'm double checking the bits I'm going to paint are stuck down correctly. And I shall start with the purple. Well, it's called Parma actually. I'm mostly using Pebeo Vitrol transparent paints, and I say this first colour is the Parma. I've checked that my work surface is fairly flat. Unfortunately the paper on the light box is lifting it up slightly, but I will make sure it's somewhere totally flat to dry. Now, normal glass painting techniques, sort of flood filling. I'm not brushing. I am using a solid paintbrush. Don't worry if you haven't got one. A normal paintbrush will be equally as good. They're just a bit more difficult to clean. Just giving that a gentle stir. I'm not convinced it's quite as thick as it should be. There we go. Right, I'm going to carry on. I'm going to do all the purple and maybe a little bit more. And I'll let you come back when I've completed that. Now, I've just interrupted my painting of the purple to show you this. Now, I'm not sure if you can see just there. Let me move it so it gets more to the camera. Right there where my tip is. The paint is just seeping underneath. This bit wasn't down properly. Now, there's two ways of dealing it with when you get it seeping through like this. If it's gone over, you can immediately just take it off and it'll be fine. If it goes under, if your paint is seeping under, I suggest you leave it till the paint is semi-dry. If I take that away now, it'll just come back again. So wait until your paint is semi-dry and then just use your brush to lift it off. It's going to be a close call between leaving it long enough to semi-dry so it won't flood out again, but not so long that you have trouble getting the paint off. But I thought I'd just show you that. Right, I'm going to get back. I've still some more purple to do. Well, as you can see, I've done all the darker blue and the purple. I'm just about to start on the red. A little tip for you, not so important with the red because it's quite large areas. But if you're going to do a small area, try and find a larger area of the same colour to drop it into, and then just move it from the large area into the small area, and that'll stop you getting too much paint in any particular area. So fill the smaller areas from the larger ones. Sometimes it's quite difficult to see how much paint you're getting on your brush when you're in the pot. Right, I shall carry on and finish the red. Maybe start the light blue and then we'll come back again. Now we really are on the last stretch with just the lighter blue colour to do. Obviously, I think I mentioned before, but I'm leaving each colour to go at least tacky dry before I add the next. So here we are, nearly finished now. All that really remains is to cut it out and to construct some sort of hanger on the top. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to cut it out yet. I know that sounds strange. First of all, I'm going to try and go just round in a circle, or almost circle, ignoring all these little indents and see how that looks, because obviously they'll be clear. If that doesn't work, then I will indeed go back and cut out each indent. For now, I'm going to leave this piece on at the top because I will construct some sort of hanger there. So let me get on and cut this out and we'll take it from there. Let's get rid of that major piece of excess first and then make sure we know what bit we're leaving up here. Not sure whether you saw that then, but all I'm doing is cutting, and I'm not going to make you watch every little bit of this as normal, so I shall go away, carry on cutting, and we can see how it looks. And I've just cut in a circle. Well, we're at the very last step now. As you can see, I've cut round, haven't done every little indent, but I'm quite happy with that. Space up here for the hanger, one candle and one opened up paper clip. See that? Let me just heat that up a little bit. Keep it in the flame, it would help. There we go, nice little hole there, which will take my cotton through. I'll have to just get my craft knife and clean that up a little bit. Make sure it doesn't burn anything. And finally, the bit I always forget, we need to take the cover off the back. Remember, it still had its backing sheet on. And that is the project just about finished. So a little bit of cotton through there and hang that up in the window. Right, I hope you've enjoyed this project. If you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you're watching on our website, please join our email list. Okay, happy crafting, and we'll be back soon.